Morning, everyone. Welcome, like Dave said, to the December meeting. It's happy to see everyone and getting ready for the holidays. So, welcome to the meeting. And Dave, just if you see me get up, I have a new grandbaby, so I'm doing double duty this morning. So, if you see me get up, I'll be back.
It's all right. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
All right. Uh, we have a quorum. We will take a roll call in a moment, but first I want to open the floor to public comments. And I know that we have a couple people that are here for public comments. So, Jim, take it away.
Thanks very much. Uh, you may all have received or soon will receive an invitation to a February 5 listening session as we embark on the next evolution of our Northern Virginia STEM learning ecosystem. It's called Nova Wise, and it's just been formally recognized at the national level. And that initialism or acronym stands for Northern Virginia Workforce Innovations through STEM Education. Uh, there will be many other opportunities for you to contribute to those understandings. It is very much a workforce focused approach to STEM education or technical education. And then I'm going to introduce Debbie Bradbard, and then also if she's here, Kat Kempe or Jen Stein, and if neither is here from Captivate, I'll share their news too. Debbie.
Yes, hi. I just wanted to introduce myself. Debbie Bradbard. I work at Virginia Tech, the new campus in Alexandria with Jim. I run a center for military families and veterans, the Boeing Center for Veteran Transition and Military Families. And we are largely workforce focused. So getting service members, transitioning veterans, and military spouses into work roles. And then we have a second pillar that's focused on entrepreneurship. So folks who are interested in opening their own businesses, we're building a capability for that as well. We are standing up the center. We opened last January, and we're really building these capabilities over time. None of this existed before last year. So looking forward to working with this group and figuring out how we can integrate into what you're already doing. And if anybody wants to learn more, happy to connect with people offline.
Soon Debbie and I will be sharing an admin assistant, so it's easier to get in touch with both of us. And Kat, Jen, or maybe even Ron from Captivate, is anybody here? I'm just going to share with you that on January 27 at our campus here in Alexandria, we will be sharing the third iteration of a really innovative program they developed called Forward DMV. It's a regional workforce initiative that gets a lot of folks just like you in the same room thinking out loud and privately as well about the challenges to our regional workforce initiatives, particularly in light of changes at the federal level. I'll be sharing information for them or help them get information to you about that January 27 event called Forward DMV. Thanks, Dave. Thanks.
Great. Any other public comments? Going once, going twice? Thank you. Jim, Debbie, feel free to put your contact information in the chat window so people can take it. And as far as whatever invitations, just send them to me and I can send it out to our Regional Workforce Council. Happy to do that. All right. We're going into our agenda. We have a pretty packed agenda. Hopefully we get through all of it. We have a vice chair election and then some other things within our consent agenda. So let's do the vice chair election first. What I'd like to do is everybody, I guess, is muted. I'm going to, when I ask for a motion to vote and someone just come off and say motion, somebody else come out and say second, and then I say all in favor. What I'm going to do is go down and read everybody's last name and then just quickly say yay or nay or abstain. I think those are the three choices, and we'll go from there. So our vice chair election, our current vice chair, Monica West, has nominated to continue on for another term as vice chair. She is awesome. She's done some great stuff for us. She works at Washington Gas. Monica, I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to say. I'm springing this on you last minute. I apologize for that. And I believe.
No, I think I've been in the workforce space for over 15 years, so this is a passion project of mine. Happy to be vice chair.
Awesome. All right. So is there anybody else who wants to nominate themselves for a vice chair? All right, good. So can I get a motion to approve Monica as vice chair for the next term? Somebody?
Motion
Motion.
approved.
That's good enough. Somebody second it. Beautiful. There we go.
Second.
Okay, Aguilar. Yea or nay?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yes, no, that's good too. Aklilu, I apologize if I messed that up.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Bates,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Bedford,
Yes.
Bernstein, Brennan,
Yes.
Brown, Dottie, Butler,
Yes.
Hagenreiter,
Yes.
Gallagher, Gilbert. Oh, no, Michael, that would be you in proxy. All you have to do is say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Hagray,
Yes.
Jacobs, Lopez,
Yay.
Marino,
Yep.
Marquez,
Yes.
Martini,
Yes.
Montoya,
Yes.
Pages,
Yes.
Schriffler,
Yes.
Steele, Stout,
Yes.
Tibrick, Thrower,
Yes.
West, don't say no,
Yes.
and Yoder.
Yes.
We have 21 people here, which is way more than we needed for votes. So I appreciate all of you for showing up. All right, let's get into the consent agenda. So there's a couple things that I wish to discuss first. First up, as you can see on the meeting agenda, the logo that we've been using for our region, for Virginia Career Works, Alexandria-Arlington region, is sunsetting. The governor has changed the name of the workforce system from Virginia Career Works to Virginia Works. As such, we should be using that name anymore. That being said, it seems like we change the name of this workforce system every 4 years. I'm not going to get into the coincidences of changing the name and administration sunsetting. I leave it up to your imagination, although I basically just said it. So I think just a matter of just having our own logo for the Regional Workforce Council, and I'll show you some examples. What I want to do is, I have 3 examples for the Regional Workforce Council, three versions of a logo, and I'll be sending out a survey to everybody later on, just asking them for their impressions of the 3 thoughts, perspectives, and what I'll do is I'll take that information and turn it into one, and then we'll be good to go. At the end of the day, the logos for our American Job Centers are more important than the logo for our Regional Workforce Council, because those are the things we want to drive people and businesses to. And so this is not the humongous branding exercise that most organizations need to do. It's a minor one. And also because, we are not a standalone enterprise. We are part of county government. There's no legal things that we need to do to change when companies change names. So it's a pretty, benign process, the way to do it. By the way, feel free to ask questions as I go along. I'm just going to keep on
And
moving.
David,
Yep.
you know I have questions. And so obviously, even though the name is changing and we'll comply with that, they don't care if people have their own logos?
No, it's it's in the state policy, which I believe has just been improved, that local workforce boards can retain their own policy. So retain their own brand. So there we go. Nothing that we're doing is violating anything. I'm just trying to not have to get a new jacket every 4 years. All right, next thing up is executive coaching service update. As you know, we have been promoting an executive coaching service to people that have been laid off from the federal government and have been, or federal contractors who lost programs due to budget cuts. We have 100 spaces, as you know. We have 24 of those spaces filled. We've done this was a soft launch. We've been promoting this opportunity to individuals that have come across our 2 American Job Centers, whether they're looking for the Nova Next program, which is a program that the community college put together that provides free training for free training for in-demand industry certifications and licenses for that population, as well as other people that have come into our centers that have let us know that they've been laid off from the federal government. So that soft launch is over. We are going to be starting January, putting ads in Alex Now and RL Now to do a massive promotion to fill up the remaining slots that we have. But of the people, the 24 people that are currently in this program, they've all been receiving DISC assessments and other transferable skills assessments and sitting through seminars of that nature, how to use AI for their career perspectives, and then obviously resume interview skills coaching and things of that nature. You know, many are still working on figuring out which way they need to point their compass to get to their next opportunity, but we do have 2 people employed so far, which quite honestly is great in the sense of it's a very competitive marketplace right now. And so more information on that to come. Arlington Alexandria Talent Investment Grant. So this is an incumbent worker program. And this is also within our consent agenda, a policy change I like to make. We received $60,000 from the Commonwealth of Virginia to help businesses skill up their staff. So this supports businesses that have 250 employees or less. The notion is that if they have individuals that might be not as competitive for their jobs anymore, and if they are require some sort of in-demand industry certification or license to become competitive, then they can apply for a grant where we will reimburse up to 90% of the training costs. So the employer, let's say the employer has 20 people in their company, and they need to scale up a few people. Because of that size, the employer pays 100% of the cost, and if they have 2 people that go through that program and succeed, we'll reimburse up to 90%. If they only have 1 person succeed, then we will reimburse 90% for that 1 person. So we're not paying for failure, we're paying for success. And that is a program that, in partnership with our 2 economic development agencies and our 2 chambers of commerce, we'll be pushing out to our business networks. I'll be promoting it to you all so you can present it to your business networks. Obviously, if you feel that you have that you're in a business that can take advantage of this, we'll certainly entertain that. It's a first come, first serve basis, $60,000. We're predicting anywhere between 25 and 30 contracts, so that should be good. And then before we go on our consent agenda, I wanted to go and just give you all a mission moment. I've been told I don't do this nearly enough. And so what I'm going to try to do going forward is either give you something in writing about some of the successes that we've had at our 2 American Job Centers, or try to get something on video. But here's one. I'm just going to read it. This occurred at our Arlington Employment Center, our Arlington American Job Center. This is the individual that goes through the WIO program. This is the program that you all have oversight over. Mrs. H is a single individual with no dependents, was referred to the WIO program while working part-time at McDonald's, earning approximately $288 per month. She was facing personal family challenges that impacted her ability to pursue long-term goals. Despite these obstacles, she expressed a strong interest in transitioning into the medical field to build a more stable and fulfilling future. During her initial assessment, the career coach identified the client's interest in healthcare. So one of our WIOA career coaches worked with her and found that the client was interested in healthcare and helped her explore training options aligned with her goals. After reviewing eligibility and available programs, the client was successfully enrolled in a certified medical assistance training program. This is a program that our WIOA dollars paid for. Throughout the training, the career coach provided ongoing encouragement, helped her stay on track, and ensured she had access to supportive services as needed. She successfully completed the CMA program, and the client requested assistance in finding employment in a clinical setting. And so our career coaches referred to a position with Pinnacle Healthcare Systems. The client was interviewed, and I am so happy to say she was hired as a certified medical assistant, earning $70,000 annually with full benefits. $280 a month, $70,000 a year. Not bad. It's been life-changing for the client. She has transitioned from part-time low-wage employment to full-time stable career in the healthcare field. And her success demonstrates the power of personalized support, training access, and career coaching through the WIO program. This is what we do on a daily basis, and I apologize for not sharing more of this with you, but I will make sure I do that in the future. All right. Let's get to the consent agenda. All right. So this will work the same way as the vote for the vice chair. I am first going to go quickly through our agenda notes, give everybody a couple of minutes to, and I hope you already have taken a look through the agenda, and then I'll ask somebody to motion to vote to approve the consent agenda. I'll ask somebody to second it, and then I'll just go through last names to approve again. I'm sorry I have to do it this way. We're not in public, so I can't just look at people's hands. All right, we have our meeting minutes from both our September Workforce Council meeting and our executive committee meeting that we held a few weeks ago. A recommendation to approve both from there. In the link that I sent you, you'll see the performance report, which is this. Everything is looking good and is on track. We're seeing a lot of people at our centers. We are asking for a couple policy changes. We have a supportive services policy change. We need to bring the local policy in compliance with federal WIO policies. The policy in question you'll see is we need to make sure that we cannot spend WIO money to buy guns and ammunition and things that'll hurt people. That's something that we didn't have in our local policy. We don't do it. We don't provide guns or ammunition, but we just, to be all kosher, we needed to put in our local policy, and that's what we did. The next policy that we're changing is an incumbent worker training program policy. So in the past, businesses are interested in participating in the incumbent worker program would submit an application. I'd make sure it's all good, and then I would submit it to you all for approval. And so these contracts would happen on a quarterly basis. With our new program, that $60,000 I mentioned before, our talent investment grants, that program ends in October of 2026. So we don't have a lot of time, and we're going to be approving a lot of contracts. And so we really can't wait for the next quarterly meeting to approve them all. Since I'm going through this anyway, and I'm making sure that they are appropriate and meet policies and so forth, and since there's no law that says I can't approve these grants, what I'm asking for is a temporary change in the policy where you just allow me to approve these incumbent worker training program grants. I'll do it up until this current program's over. in the next meeting that we have, I'll go and provide another policy change reverting back to the old policy where you all get to approve it on a quarterly basis. But this allows us to provide the best optimum customer service and to execute the program in a way that will help send down those funds. These are everything that I'm discussing right now. The executive committee has discussed. We've had a long conversation about it, and they all approved these changes.
David, what's been
Yep.
used so far in that big pile of money?
I haven't used anything from it because we haven't launched it yet.
Okay.
It was finally appropriated at the board meeting last week, and we'll begin promoting on January 1st. So you have a very short window.
Mm.
The next thing is, as I mentioned, our logos. Here are 3 logos that I used Canva to put together. Again, I'll send the survey out, pick the option that you like the best. Tell me what you like and don't like, and then I'll refine it and come up with something that fits within our current, we'll use it going forward. All right, going back to our consent agenda. And then we have a couple additions to our eligible training provider list. George Mason University is on our list. They would like to add a few new programs: Adobe Certified Professional and Adobe Certified Professional in Video Design, which are both training programs that are in demand. Their curriculums have elements of soft skills built into them. And there's nothing on those applications that would prevent them from being part of the eligible training provider list. And that's why I submit them to everybody in this consent agenda notes so that they get approved to put on, because I think we have a couple people that are interested in those programs. That is the consent agenda, so I'll let everybody take a review. And then I'll entertain a motion to vote.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Second.
Awesome. Here we go. Aguilar.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Aklilu.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I'm terrible with names. Bates.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bedford.
Yes.
Bernstein is not here. Brennan.
Yes.
Brown is not here. Butler.
Yes.
Hagenreiter.
Yes.
Gallagher's not here. Michael, in for
Yes.
there you go. Michael, you could read my brain. Hagray.
Yes.
Jacobs is not here. Lopez.
Yes.
Marino.
Yes.
Marquez.
Yes.
Martini.
Yes.
Montoya.
Yes.
Pages.
Yes.
Schriffler.
Yes.
And did I say that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Stout.
Yes.
Thrower.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that was part of our meeting. Now we get into the fun part of the meeting. We have 2 presentations, and the first one is labor market update from our friends at the community college. Marissa, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be back. I wasn't here in September, but Helen did a great job from what I hear. So Dave, if you'll go to the first slide, I'm going to start with just a little sort of background and level setting for this presentation. We obviously all know that there was a government shutdown. This has impacted the availability of some of the data that we normally pull from. So most of the data in this presentation is only as recent as September, and this was literally released yesterday. So there are some national data sets that have November data available, but as of right now, all of the local data is for September. So just know that this is all sort of pre-shutdown. We may or may not get October estimates for a lot of these data sources because they couldn't actually do the data collection. So we're hoping to get some October estimates, but it's unclear if those are coming and when. The Congressional Budget Office released a report during the shutdown with predictions for if what they expect to happen if the shutdown lasted 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8 weeks. It lasted about 6 weeks, so we actually do have some predictions from the CBO on what we can sort of expect to see going forward. And they predict that the shutdown is going to have negatively impacted GDP this quarter, but the effect is mostly going to be gone by Q1 of next year. They also think that most of the lost GDP is going to be recouped, but there's going to be about 11 billion that's not. And that sounds like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of the economy, it's actually not a ton of money. So most of the lost GDP is going to be recovered in Q1 and the rest of 2026. We may see some elevated unemployment rates in October or November, assuming we actually get that data, because the BLS counts furloughed federal workers as unemployed when they're getting these employment estimates. Decreases in demand caused by either a decrease in like some decreases in like discretionary spending may also have contributed to some decreased employment or increased unemployment. But again, we don't have any of this data yet, so we don't actually really know for sure what has happened as a result of the shutdown. So that was just a little bit of context. I apologize in advance for really not having a ton of recent data, but I'll give you what I've got, and hopefully going forward, we'll have a little bit more information. So if you go to the next slide, please.
Sure. And let me just give you some breaking news from the Wall Street Journal. Inflation eased to 2.7% in November, less than expected.
Awesome.
How about that?
Yeah.
The world is not falling apart, but at the same time it is.
Yes. So employment, this is percentage change in employment year over year. So employment has been increasing in our region, but at a much slower rate than it has been in the past. So in Northern Virginia, it was just over, like it's increased just a little bit from September to September. In the greater DC area, we've actually seen a decrease in employment from year to year. So because we might see some decreases in October and or November, we might expect this number to go down a little bit in the future months, but as of September, we were still seeing positive increases in employment. However, those are much smaller than what we're seeing in the US as a whole, which is almost 1% up from September of 2024. If you'll go to the next slide, please.
Sure. And we have seen some companies doing some mass layoffs in the area. And so
Yes.
that'll probably have an effect. While more people will in our labor market are affected by the federal government, we will some of the unemployed that we will be seeing whenever we get data will be also businesses that are changing course.
Yeah. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on what we get in the future. And so I'm really hoping we get those October estimates because I think October and November is going to be pretty enlightening. When we look at industry, a lot of this is the same story we've been saying all year.
What is going on there? All right. There we go. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. A lot of this story is what we've been seeing for the entire year. We're seeing huge increases in the construction industry. It's up 9% year over year. We're also seeing a lot of increases in various healthcare industries, so hospitals, nursing facilities, ambulatory healthcare services. On the flip side, we're still seeing a large decrease in federal government employment from September to September. And we're also seeing decreases in some of the industries where we would see federal government contractors and maybe some of the sort of nonprofits. Interestingly, we've also seen a decrease in restaurants and other eating places, which again could be caused by some of that, like pulling back on discretionary spending, especially given some economic uncertainty. But again, we can't really say for sure why this is happening. So again, this is a lot of the same story we've been seeing sort of for the entire year. If you'll go to the next slide, please. I've pulled job postings data. This is job postings data is great because we actually do have data for October and November. So these charts show the number of job postings. The gold line is 2024 and the green line is 2025. Total postings are down 6% from November to November, which is not a huge change, but it is significant since we saw in July they finally started to go below what we were seeing in 2024. Looking at public administration postings, which is where you would see a lot of federal government postings, along with nonprofits and potentially some of those government contractors, we've seen a 46% decrease, which is consistent with what we've been seeing pretty much all year. But what I think is significant is we didn't see any major decreases or any major changes during the month of the shutdown. So we didn't see any major spikes or decreases in October. So I think that's good news. If you'll go to the next slide, please.
Sure, and I think it's important to know that the federal government's still hiring. And in fact, they've contacted one of our American Job Centers to help with some recruitment at one of their offices in Alexandria. And so, again,
so that is
the
good
world
news.
is burning and it's not at the same time.
Yes, that is good news. And we were seeing that reflected in the data. There really wasn't a huge change in the postings. Labor force, we have seen over the course of the year a bit of a change or a bit of a decrease year over year. So we're looking at over 1% lower in both Alexandria and Arlington and the greater DC area compared to September of last year. This could be for a lot of reasons. It could be because people are moving out of the area, which we won't know for a little while because we don't have that data yet. It could be that people are have decided to retire early. People have given up on their job searching because the labor market is tough right now. Could be happening for a variety of reasons, and we may never really know because this just isn't reflected in data. But I think it is significant that our area is seeing a decrease in the labor force, and the overall U.S. Labor force is increasing. So again, some of this could be if people are moving out of the area, which we will not know for a while. And then if you'll go to, I think I have 2 more slides. Unemployment is still higher than it was at this time last year. So last year we were sitting at about 2.5%, and now we're over 3%. But unemployment in our region is lower than it is in the greater DC area, which is really good news. And that is, you can see, pretty consistently the case. We did see a slight decrease from August to September. So I think it's unlikely that continued, given that there was a government shutdown, and we may see increases in October and November, but that is good news that it's come down a little bit. So it's still high, but it's lower than in the greater region, and it is pretty consistently lower than in the US as a whole, which is really good news. And finally.
If you look at other data, like I've been looking at housing data and real estate data, because to me, I'm wondering if that would be more of an indicator of what's going on with our economy than anything else. Arlington, Alexandria, and you could just Google, their news articles, Alex Now and the Washington Post. It seems like Arlington and Alexandria, not being hit as hard as the rest of Fairfax, where DC, Montgomery County, and Prince George's County seem to be feeling a bigger brunt of a lot of these issues. And I think that might be within a variety of economic points.
Yes. And finally, I pulled data on UI claims for Virginia. Again, this is only people that were employed in Virginia that are eligible to file for unemployment insurance. And we haven't really seen, this data is through, I believe, the week of December 6th. So it is also recent data. And we have not really seen major spikes or major decreases in either of these 2 indicators. So I think that's good news. But it is still elevated from where it was in 2024. So I think that was my last slide, so I will turn it over to questions.
And just as an FYI, in the Alexander-Arlington region, we have about 9,000 individuals that are claiming unemployment insurance. That's as of, I think, August. Not exactly sure what it is now, since we don't have the data. But 9,000 is still pretty huge for our area compared to
Yeah.
other times of within the decade. So, Lisa.
Marissa, I'm sure I've probably asked this before. There isn't a way to splice the data to show salary level, where the threshold is, I guess, of who's either not who's filing for unemployment, but who's getting and going for the jobs, and the postings that are out there. I mean, I've used AI and Lightcast to mine some of the data, but didn't know if George Mason had anything.
Or the Virginia
No.
Community College.
I mean,
We-
right, sorry,
It's
NBCC.
Yeah, we don't know any more than what I've put on these slides. Job postings, we can see like what salaries they're offering, but we have no
Mhm.
idea who's applying for them or how many
Applying.
applicants they're getting or anything. All that Lightcast is
Mhm.
able to get is what's like publicly on these websites.
Mhm.
So I wish I knew more, but I really don't. For who's filing for unemployment insurance, I would guess the local jurisdictions have much more information on that than I do.
Mhm.
We again I can only pull data for the entire state, and I don't get any
Mhm.
more information than just the number that filed. So yeah, sorry.
Mhm.
I wish I could get that information for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, Brookings had an enormous presentation recently with some of that for the DMV. I like to hone in if we can, but I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, and we're pretty limited on what we can get for such a specific region. There's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff that's available for the DC metro area, but again, I think that's not super helpful when you want just a specific region in Virginia. So
Great. Any other questions?
Dave, there's a question in the chat, Dave.
All right. Let me move. I'm on two screens right now. And the worst
Can
computer
you
in the
repeat the
world.
timeline of 9,000 again?
Yeah, in reference to the UI claim, Dave, I think you mentioned, was it
Oh.
September?
I believe it was August. It's on. You know what? Let's show you the website that we have for our council, and it's right there. So if you go to the main page, Virginia Coworks, we'll change the logo to, we'll change the URL to the Regional Workforce Council at some point. But labor market information.
Okay. Thank you.
And then here you go. So this is as of August. I try to publish these things as soon as it comes out. Northern Virginia, 54,000 people unemployed. Arlington, 5,400, 37, they're almost 3,800 Alexandria. And so, our unemployment rates and where it was the same time the previous year. So this is the latest that we've had there. We have obviously, as soon as they start publishing local unemployment rates, I will update this, and hopefully my hope is it'll stay like this or a little bit under. It won't go too much higher. Any other questions for Marissa? Awesome. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you, Helen. You guys rock. Really appreciate
thank you,
it.
everyone.
And again, anybody, if you have labor market questions that you'd like to see answered, just send them to me, and I'll see if the team at the community college can come up with something nice. And if not, we'll just make something up. Next up on our agenda is Chris Martini. We wanted to get an
You want me to pull
update.
up? Oh, sorry. You want me to pull up the slides? Share my
Did you make
screen?
it? Did you make any changes?
No.
All right, then am I okay to share your presentation? I didn't ask.
Sure.
All right. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
You could yell at me later on. As everybody knows, one of the things that we talked about a couple meetings ago was what's going on with curriculum education and our youth. We had Dr. Tricia Jacobs from Alexandria City Public School, CTE, talk about what's going on over there and where the needs are. the last meeting, and in this meeting, we're very pleased to have Chris Martini from Arlington Public School System talk about what's going on here. So Chris, take it away.
All right, so thank you, David. Good morning, everybody. I wanted to just kind of go over some of the, the connections that companies can have with career and technical education. So I want to give a little bit of an overview of career and technical education, just to remind everybody. Career and technical education does connect the academic knowledge, technical skills, and a lot of hands-on learning in real-world applications for our students. We have a large range of programs. There are 16 career clusters that are identified by U.S. government, and we have 14 of the 16. Actually, in Virginia, there's also an energy one, so there's 17. So within our program, we offer 14, and we are working on a couple of the additionals as well. And we do prepare our students for the workforce. We have industry credentials that students are able to earn, and we have some practical experiences as well. We have some different work-based learning opportunities so that they can really see what it is in a different career field and what that might look like, to see if that is in fact the way that they want to kind of progress with their education. And we also look at, when we start looking at our courses that we have within career and technical educations, if we want to add any additional, we need to make sure that they are approved first off by the Virginia Department of Education. And with that, we have to look at what the area is, where area workforce needs are, and how this course that we would be considering offering would help impact that in a positive way. Okay, David?
Next slide.
Yep.
Oops.
So I talked a little bit about this already. We have career pathways that are part of our program. We have students are usually in a sequence. Sometimes they'll start and explore, and then they'll go into a sequence. And then we have specialty courses within those pathways as well. We have industry certifications, and we have a pretty good pass rate with those. We are still working to increase those pass rates, but there are many industry credentials that students are able to earn while they're with us in high school. Again, I said we had work-based learning opportunities. We had a very nice collaboration with the Chamber. In November, we had about 100 and some of our students go out and do job shadowing around Arlington. And that was very successful. We should be having a video coming out fairly soon. And so when that is available, I'll go ahead and share that with David so that he can go ahead and send it out to the group so you can take a look at some of the experiences the students had in those work-based learning opportunities. Technical skills training, there's academic integration with that, and we are looking at those employer partnerships. And that's where we could use your help, and I'll ask again later on, but we are always looking for people to be on our advisory committee. And that's where community members and people, businesses can actually be part of that to really give us input on our students, the opportunities and the offerings that we have, and how we might be able to improve that. Okay, next slide, David.
And just to add, because I'm on Chris's and I'm on Trisha's advisory boards, if you are interested in hosting a job shadow experience, please let Chris or I know, and we will give that information to the Chamber, the Arlington Chamber of Commerce, so that they include you in the list for next year. It's a very rewarding opportunity, and the Chamber runs a great event. And thank you, Kate, for making that possible.
Yes, thank you very much. So here are some of the strategic advantages for employers. One of the things that I think with our work-based learning opportunities that they have is you really get to test drive a kid before you actually have to take him on full time. It's also a way too to be able to start building your pipeline. We know some of the students are going to go on to college, but they do come back during breaks, and it is a great time to continue to work. When I was doing it a long time ago, I was consistently going back to the same cabinetry company that I was working with, and I got a very good experience, not only from my education, but from the work-based opportunities that I had as well. They are aligned with the industry standards. So our career and technical programs, they are looked at every 5 years. We also need, again, if you are interested in being on one of those committees, we have business people that come on those committees to look at the skills that our students are learning in our first level, second level, and third level. And you can make recommendations, make changes. So it's good to have that integration as well. And then with our program, we feel that, if you get a kid early and often you're starting to build them and put them in the way that you would like to see them, your employee. So it really gives an opportunity to really kind of hone and mold that employee the way that you'd like to see them. And so it does help with retention as well. David, next slide, please.
There we go.
So here's a little bit of information just from our program. Our graduation rate with our completers, and those are students that are in a sequence of career and technical education courses, we have a 99.72% pass rate. We've been covering between 100 and 99, for the past 3 years. We have 98% of our students are hitting 80% of the competencies in each of their skill sets that they're working on. And we have about 98% of our completers are attained some type of recognized post-secondary credential. So our students are coming out qualified, and they do have the skills that are needed for the workforce. It's not to say that they're polished and they're all ready to go, because we feel that we're giving them the head start. And we do expect that they will then continue on in an education, whatever is needed for that specific field that they are in. Next slide, please.
Oops.
So here's a few of our opportunities and collaborations that we've had. With our internships, we've had Amazon, CityWorks. They've been partnering with our schools to help our students in various areas. We also have a number of our local automotive businesses as well. And our hospitality. We also have some that are in our computer science, and we're starting to get a little bit of traction with our cybersecurity as well. The automotive training, the other collaborations that we have, Northern Virginia Community College provides many opportunities for our students to move into to get their associate degree with that. They also help with our teachers and the training of our teachers for some of the newer technologies that are coming up. I know they're working on the EV solutions, and our teachers are given opportunities to get training with them as well. And then our curriculum alignment and innovation, that's kind of what I mentioned a little bit before, working together to look and making sure our curriculum's aligned with the needs that you have within your workforce.
I do want to point out that the automotive is not grease monkey stuff. There's a lot of technology within a car these days, and so it's complex. And by the way, those jobs pay good money, really good money.
Yeah, and the first thing they do is usually hook up a laptop to the car to see what's going on with it. So why invest in career and technical education? It's really providing a skilled workforce. We're giving kids training early before they get out into the workforce. Also gives them time to make adjustments and corrections to be good employees. Cost reduction and retention. We're doing some of the training, not all of the training, because there is advanced training that goes along as they go out, but we are doing a lot of the basic training for our students. We are bridging education and employment, and that as we're doing our work-based learning opportunities is really being highlighted, is how are we able to, get our students to get into these areas, see what they're about, and really kind of determine before they get out that this is the career path that they want to go into. And we're hopefully doing some of that economic development, right? We're making sure that we're investing in our area with strong courses that we have to support our workforce within the area and try to keep some of our students here as opposed to going to other places. Hey, David, next slide.
I think that's it.
Which I think might be it. Yes. Any questions?
I have a question, of course.
Yep.
First of all, thank you. Very interesting. Two-part question. Is there a program that you feel is far and away either the most popular or the most in demand, and you're trying to make it the most popular? And then two, what would you say is your biggest challenge?
So I think we have a number of programs. Our healthcare courses are booming. We also have our business and IT and our engineering and STEM. Those are the ones that are kind of the high demand, if you will. I'd say what is our biggest challenge? There's two challenges. You know, if we want to go ahead and increase some of our classes, it's finding qualified teachers. And as you know, teaching isn't the highest paying job in the area. And when you're looking at trying to, and I'll use an example, one of the things that we would like to do is doing heating and air conditioning, but it's very difficult to find someone that is a qualified heating and air technician that's willing to come for a pay cut to teach kids. And so I think that's a big challenge. I think the other challenge is, looking at work-based learning opportunities for our students. We have many students that want to go out, but it takes time to cultivate a business to be able to go from a job shadow all the way up to possibly a mentorship or an internship. It takes time, and that's a challenge that we have. And we find that that students really benefit from that, and we're finding as well that the businesses are as well, when they really have a focus of being able to build their pipeline, their employee pipeline. So
Have you looked at
Another-
retirees for training? I mean, some of the larger companies like Monica will say Washington Gas allow, I believe, their retirees like kind of that last year, some flex.
Yeah, we're just starting to do that. We're working with a couple of the unions, and we're also working with the fire department as well. And that was one of the things that they were saying. We retired about 45, and the guys and the ladies are still looking for something to do. So we're starting to see if we can tap into things like that as well.
All right, so we have two people with their hands raised and 5 minutes to go. So real quick, Crystal, I throw it to you for a quick question. And Chris,
I'll
a
just
quick
email
answer.
I'll email Chris my question. Thanks.
That's even quicker. And Jim, last question to you.
Another challenge is to encourage non-traditional learners in some of the programs and pathways. HR in many of our technical companies are increasingly well prepared to especially invite girls and young women into some of these pathways, and anything that you all can do to encourage them to start those pathways in high school and even middle school is even better.
Yep. And so thanks for that, Jim. Chris, thank you for your presentation. If you have any questions for Chris, feel free to reach out to him. Chris, can you put your email into the chat window?
Yep, I'll do that now.
This is my ask. You are all stretched thin, and you're honoring our communities by serving on the Regional Workforce Council. So this ask is not necessarily for you, but it's for members of your team. We always look for people on our team that need some sort of leadership role or to grow, or there might be people that are just not challenged enough, but are very knowledgeable about their area of expertise. These could be great individuals that could serve on either jurisdictions or hopefully both jurisdictions, career technical education body advisory committees. Both committees are quarterly. They're run by either Chris, me, Jim, or Trisha. Usually, that's pretty much been the way it has been for the past X number of years. So know that they're going to be purposeful, but also efficient. And so if you are struggling to find the right people, interested in priming your future workforce, and find people in your organization that could benefit from a leadership experience, connect them to me. I can sit down, I can talk, and then I can refer them to the appropriate advisory council for either public school system, because we really benefit from industry guidance and connection.
That's a great suggestion. Thanks.
That being said, it is 8:20. Nope, it's 9:28. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We got a lot done in a short period of time. Entertain a motion to end the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
There you go. Everybody, I wish everybody a wonderful holiday season. We will pick back up at some point in early 2026. Can't remember what the meeting date is. Let me turn the page of my agenda, and it says, oh yes, March. We'll be meeting again in March. But there'll be a lot of information headed out to you before then. We have a teen job fair coming out March 21st. So that might be an opportunity to help prime the pump and certainly get some summer help. Both American Job Centers and one in Alexandria and Arlington have a lot going on between now and then too. So we'll be reaching out to you with a lot of information. I thank you all for everything that you're doing, and I wish you all a healthy and safe new year.
Dave,
Thank
do you need a
you.
second?
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Thank
Holidays.
you.
Do I need a second?
Second to adjourn.
Second.
Too
There you
late.
go.
One-stop operations committee members, please hang back. We'll just
I
use
think
the
we
same
can
link.
infer that anybody who did leave would have voted yes to adjourn.
Yes. I skipped that. Well, let me take me off the record.
I did it last week and thought of you. So how about